Hello everybody, my name is Leo and with this video we will share a direct comparison between the Mooer G150, the Valeton GP100, the NUX MG300 and the Harley Benton DNA FX JIT. First of all, we will hear the 4 units in action with the demo song, then we will compare the features and technical characteristics of the 4 units with a very detailed comparison chart, then we will hear more sounds, also comparing the units to real tube amps, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. In a few days I will also upload an alternative version of the demo song played just with real amps. So I hope you enjoy and please subscribe and hit the bell, it's gonna really help me to make more videos like this. Let's start with the demo song. We will now check the differences between the 4 units among the following parameters: number of amps, cabs and mics simulations, possibility to load third-party IRs, number of banks and presets, effects, MIDI availability, number and type of inputs and outputs, number of fuzz switches and expression pedal, screen type, looper and drum availability and characteristics, ADA conversion and USB possibilities, build material, power dimension, weight and price. First of all, we have 55 amps with 26 cabs and 10 mics in the Mooer G150, 45 amps, 40 cabs and no mics in the Valeton GP100, 24 amps, 24 cabs and 4 mics built-in in the NUX MG300, while the Harley Benton DNA offers 55 amps, 26 cabs and 10 mics like the Mooer G150. The G150 and the Harley Benton DNA, other than having more amps, cabs and mics, have one nice extra feature, that is the possibility to change the distance and the position of the mic. On the other hand, the NUX offers the possibility to change the position of the mic, but not the distance, while with the Valeton you basically don't have any mic simulation, but only the IR. The Valeton, on the other hand, offers amps dedicated to electric guitar, but also bass guitar and acoustic guitar. So here I would give the thumbs up to the Mooer and the Harley Benton. We would also have the NUX in second position and the Valeton in the last one, in my opinion, but in order to keep this comparison as simple as possible for each category, I would suggest one or more winner with a thumbs up and the other will get a thumbs down. They all offer the possibility to load third-party IRs and the NUX offers more slot. To be noticed that I was not able to find how many sample points manage the Valeton, while the other units offers 512 sample points. This is a pretty small value. In fact, in the more expensive units we have typically 1024 or 2048 sample points. Furthermore, the G150 and the Harley Benton offer more presets in comparison with the other modelers. As regards effects, without considering the amp and cab blocks, they all offer 7 blocks, but NUX offers 8 blocks. And the Valeton is more flexible as you can change the position of any effect in the scenario signal chain, while with the NUX you can change only the delay and the modulation. As regards the number of effects, the Mooer and the Harley Benton offer the highest number of effects. The number and types of effects are different from each unit. I would say nevertheless that I didn't miss any effects even with the NUX, that is the one with the less variety of effects. Here I would give the thumbs up to the Valeton, as it is the most flexible in terms of effects chain management, even if it has few less effects than the Mooer and the Harley Benton. None of the unit has MIDI ports. As regards input and outputs, the G150, the Harley Benton and the Valeton have a guitar input, unbalanced left and right outputs, aux in and headphone out, while the NUX MG300 has guitar in and aux in, and an headphone stereo out that serves also as main output for connecting the unit to an amp or a mixing desk. So here the NUX is the units with less I/O connections. They all have 2 foot switches and an expression pedal. It is worth noticing that the only unit that has the possibility to set the foot switches in stomp mode to switch on and off single effects in the signal chain is the Valeton. Please let me know if I'm right in the comment below if you have better info. That's the reason why I will give the thumbs up to the Valeton. The screen of the G150 and the Harley Benton is a little bigger in comparison with the ones of the Valeton and the NUX. All the units have a built-in drum machine. The G150 and the Harley Benton manage longer loopers than the other units, but the NUX offers a very cool feature that is the adaptive tempo. I mean, a specific technology derived from the NUX Loop Core Stomp Box and the JTC Pro Drum and Loop, with which you can basically play the rhythm, then record your phrase loop, and MG300 will automatically amend the phrase to fit the current rhythm BPM. So for these reasons, I would give a thumbs up to the Mooer, the Harley Benton and the NUX. As regard ADA conversion and USB capabilities, here the clear winner, in my opinion, is the NUX, as it offers the better converters with 32-bit at 48 kHz of conversion rate. All the units offer a 2-channel audio interface. As regards the build material, basically the NUX is all plastic, the Valeton is all metal, the G150 is plastic but the front panel which is metal. The Harley Benton has both the front and the side that are metal. So here the sturdier unit, I mean the more robust one, is the Valeton, which is in fact also the unit with a higher weight even if it is the smallest one. So here the build quality of the Valeton in my opinion is better and therefore it should last more. Then we have the power needs. All the units run at 9 volts and the amperes are 300 milliamperes for the Mooer and the Harley Benton and 500 for the Valeton and the NUX. So I would give thumbs up to the Mooer and to the Harley Benton as they require less power. As regards the weight and dimensions, the Valeton is the smaller but weightier, while the Mooer and the Harley Benton are the lighter. As regards the price, currently the NUX seems to be the cheaper, at least in the Thomann store. Here I'm not giving any thumbs as you suggest me not to do it, as the price may vary according to the stores and the time since the unit have been released. As usually, I try to follow your suggestions. So here, no thumbs related to the price. So finally, the units with more thumbs up are, suspense, the Mooer G150 and the Harley Benton. Please notice that obviously this is just a technical comparison, without considering that each parameter of this comparison chart could have a different importance for you. So for instance, you may prefer the NUX just because it has better converters, or you may prefer the Valeton as it offers the stomp mode. But if you just algebraically sum the red and green, the Mooer and the Harley Benton are a little bit better. It is also worth noticing that, as you may have noticed, the Harley Benton is basically a rebranded Mooer G150. The only difference is in the form factor and in the computer app layout, as far as I know. In fact, we will also check in the more sound section of this video also the sounds that is basically identical between the two units. In order to complete this comparison chart, we will now check out how fast are these units to change preset, as some of you has asked me to do. Now let me know what do you think in the comment below and eventually how to improve these tests. My opinion is that the Valeton and the NUX are on par and pretty quick, while the Mooer and the Harley Benton are a little bit less fast, but the difference is really very thin in my opinion. Let me give you a quick introduction of the more sound section of this video. We'll now check out the tones of the comping part of the demo song that was done using a Vox with a Sur Strat and a Sur Tele panning them left and right. Then we will hear the sound of the theme of the song that was done just with the Marshall JCM 800 with the gain at its maximum level, and finally the tone of the solo that was done still with the Marshall but also with a tube screamer in front of it. For each of the three parts, I mean the comping one, the theme and the solo, we will first hear the sound of the real amp with the real cab mic'd with an SM57, and then the sound of the modelers with their internal cab. The modelers are gonna have the same setting of the real amp in terms of gain and equalization. Then we will hear the same sounds but using the same IR for the real amp and the modelers. So we have a lot of different tones and sounds to compare. I hope you enjoy.
final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Let me discuss, if I can, about a few topics that can be of some help to verify which unit better suits your needs. First of all, I would suggest you to check the amp models available for each unit, as there could be a specific amp model that you really like and that is not available in some of these pedal boards. For instance, the Valeton is missing a Fender Deluxe Reverb, or the NUX has only a Vox top boost, but not the clean channel. So, if you have a specific amp in mind, I would suggest you to check out the manuals and verify if it is available or not. The second highlight is that basically the Harley Benton is rebranded Mooer G150. So if you are unsure between the two, just choose the better deal, I mean the cheaper one, or the one with the user interface of the computer application that you prefer, as they are slightly different. Then there are specific features that each unit offers but that are not offered by the others. For instance, the Mooer and the Harley Benton are the ones with more amps and cabs, with more complete mic positioning options and with more effects, while the NUX, in my opinion, has the best computer interface, or at least the one that I prefer, with the amp layout that is more similar to the real deal, and it also offers the adaptive function of the looper, and of course the best audio interface, for instance allowing you to record at 48 kHz. And last but not least, the NUX offers the best converters. The Valeton, on the other hand, is the only unit that offers the stomp mode, with which you can switch on and off single effects in the signal chain, and it also offers the possibility to swap effects along the signal chain in whatever way you want. As regards easy of use, well, I would say that they are pretty similar. For all of them, I would use the computer application in order to manipulate the parameters, as it is far more simple. If you don't want to use the computer application, I would say that the Mooer and the Harley Benton are a tiny bit better, as they have a bigger screen and some lights that allows you to verify which effect is switched on and off in the signal chain. If you want a more robust unit, and so the one that should last more, I would say that the Valeton is your unit, as it is all metal and it really feels more robust than the other units. On the other hand, the NUX seems to be the weaker in this category, as it is all plastic and so the less robust. Finally, the tone. Well, this is the most biased part. I mean, it is really biased on my personal perception of the tone I have experienced with these units, and of course you may not agree with me. Well, my honest opinion is that the NUX is the best one in this category. I think that the JCM 800 recreation of the NUX is really in another category. I mean, on par with much more expensive models. I would almost buy the NUX just for the JCM 800 model. With the tube screamer on, the pedalboards were more similar, but if you hear just the sound of the JCM alone without the tube screamer and using IRs in the more sound section of this video, well, I think that NUX is really close to the real deal. And in fact, the quality of the converters, in my opinion, matters here in this type of tests. You can also check out my demo review of the NUX MG300 if you want to hear more sounds and also how it feels. Of course, on the other hand, the NUX is the one with less features, as you may also verify checking out my comparison chart, but the tones offered are really nice. So, summarizing. Check out the amp models included in each unit to verify if your favorite amps are available. The units packed with more features overall are the G150 and the Harley Benton. The more easy to use without a computer are the G150 and the Harley Benton. The more robust and the only one that offers the stomp mode is the Valeton. And finally, in my opinion, the NUX offers the best tones, even if it is the more fragile of the four units and the one with less features overall. Let me also say that I have found some problems while using these units, and I will write them in the description of this video so that I can change them when solved or if I was doing something wrong. So these were my final 2 cents, and I would really like to know your opinions. Which unit you prefer? What do you think about the sound and tones? Is there any specific features that makes you lean toward a specific unit? Please let me know your precious and valuable opinions in the comment below. And obviously correct me if, for instance, some features mentioned in the comparison chart were wrong, so that we can improve this comparison that could help guitarists who maybe want to buy one of these units. We have now reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell and leave a thumbs up. It will really be of a great help. Please don't forget to check out the alternative version of the demo song. I will upload it very soon. Thank you for watching, see you in the next video. Bye bye.